Welcome to Cardano Sense. My name is Anthony. Today we are going to talk a little about Plutus, as you probably guessed because it's on your screen, but not as much as I'd like, and I'll explain that in a second. But before we get started, if you'd like to help me out, you can delegate to my Sophie pool, or you can, I got an ADA address there too, so I think I'd be able to say that. Okay, let's get started. So I had an issue this week. I was trying to kind of dig into Plutus. I wanted to do the tutorial and really kind of look at the documentations. And so when I kind of dug into it, I went over here and I hit getting started, and I got sent to this, which really wasn't what I expected. And then I got sent. I also got sent back to that when I hit tutorial. But I don't now. Now, all of a sudden, today, when I started to do this video, right, I hit tutorial, and it actually brings us to the Plutus tutorial, which I haven't been able to do because I think they were rewriting it or they were updating it or something. So unfortunately, I got to put the Plutus thing off a little longer because I haven't been able to go through the tutorial. So probably next Tuesday at this point, because I'd like a weekend to really dig into it. But we could look at this real quick if you want. I mean, the one thing I remember, that this is all Haskell. I mean, it looks just like Haskell. I'm learning Haskell now. I'm teaching myself Haskell now, so this looks just like Haskell. The one thing I do remember from the video, and if you've seen my video, you might remember it too, it's split up into two sections. I think the top section, like the way Solidity is split, right? You have the Solidity and then you have the JavaScript. But supposedly with Plutus, it takes out the kind of the JavaScript component, and you do that in Plutus. Like half of it is that part, and the other half is the contract, smart contract. And I remember in the video, the difference was when it started showing the $ here in front. I don't know. That's the one thing I noticed when I looked at this. I didn't really see anything else because, like I said, I couldn't go through the tutorial, and I don't know a whole lot about it. But if you look at all of these smart contracts, they all at the bottom have this. There's not much there, but they kind of have that separation where it starts something new with the $ there. So like I said, don't know exactly what's going on there, but I will find out and I will let you know as soon as I can dig into this. So now hopefully it'll stay up for a little while so I can look at it. All right, cool. So we're going to talk about a couple other things today. I wasn't really real prepared because I really wanted to dig into this, but I want to talk a little about stake pools. And delegation to stake pools, because that still seems to be a bit of an issue. Not an issue, but people don't understand it completely. So this is my stake pool right here. So first, let's talk about delegation real quick, just like an overview about delegation. So when you delegate to first epochs. Epochs are 5-day long, like pieces of time, time, like lengths of time. Okay, like kind of like a week, except it's only 5 days. So after every epoch, you go to the new epoch. When you're delegating, and you delegate, you have to wait until that third epoch before you're going to see your rewards. All right, so you delegate, and then 1, 2, 3, you see your reward. So you're waiting at least 15 days, and that's if you delegate right before a new epoch starts, right? Because when a new epoch starts, you got 1, 2, 3, and this is where you're seeing it. So that's 15 days, a little more than 15 days. Now, if you delegate right when an epoch changes, then it's 20 days, because you have to wait that whole 5 days before you get to that next epoch change, and then 1, 2, 3, right? So it's anywhere between 15 and 20 days. So what I see a lot of people doing is they don't know this. They're just jumping around. So they're gonna put their money. They're gonna wait for the next epoch, see what the rewards are. If they don't like the rewards, they're going to jump to the next one, and they're going to try somebody different, jump and try somebody different. What they don't know is when they're looking at those rewards, that's not the rewards they got from that epoch. They're not looking. What they're looking at is 3 epochs ago. So they're jumping around like this, looking back one, thinking that's what it is, when really it's 3 epochs before. So they're going to find one where the rewards look real good. They're going to stay there thinking that's what it is, but it's not. It was 3 epochs before. So it's real important to understand. I know it can get confusing, but just think 15 or 20 days, right? So if you really don't want to think about anything, when you delegate, wait 20 days and then look at the rewards. And then whatever the rewards are, that's going to be for when you delegated. The next thing I want to talk about real quick, my pool, Sophie. I don't talk a whole lot about it because this is for Cardano channel. But I've had a couple people delegate to it in the last a week or so. So if you guys watch my videos, I want to say thank you very much. So if you look here under active stake, it went from 1.36 million up to 2.59 million. So if you did, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So let's go through what this is, like what these are, so you know what you're looking at if you come to check. And this website, for everyone who wants to know, is adapools.org, and you can find all the stake pools here and all this information for them. So let's just run down this real quick. Okay, so obvious name, ticker, website, saturation. So this is really important because some of those big pools that you think, well, I'm going to delegate to these because they make so many blocks. Once their saturation gets up past 100, the rewards would actually go down, and that's to disincentivize those pools from getting too big. So you really have to keep an eye on that. The next one is ROA. So this is like your rate of return. This is really interesting. 7.91 for the year if everything stays the same is what that means. The cool thing about my pool here is if we just jump over here, see it says 0.06. I'm supposed to average, or I'm sorry, 0.6. Supposed to average 0.6 blocks per epoch. I'm actually averaging 1 block per epoch. So my rewards are a little bit higher than the average reward. The last epoch, my rewards are like 6 something percent. The reason it says 7.9% here is because the epoch before that, I actually got 2 blocks. I was only supposed to mint 0.6, so the rewards are pretty high. But average out over everything I've done so far, I'm doing better than I'm supposed to be doing. And I don't know if it's luck. There is something here too that there's it's called I forget what they call it, but they check to make sure every time you're asked to make a block that you do, and they keep track of that. They keep track that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, that you're not offline, that you're actually doing it. And I don't know how it works in the background, but they kind of put a score to that. And I know my score for that is definitely 100%. So I just kind of wanted to let you know if you guys are looking at my pool. But let's go down what the rest of these are here. Okay, live stake. This is interesting. So my live stake is 2.59. Active stake is 1.36. Okay, what this means is, like I said before, you got to wait those epochs before you see your reward. It's the same thing. When you go in and put your money in there, it's not getting counted right away. You have to wait another week until it gets counted. So this active stake will be 2.59 million in 2 epochs. All right? So that's the difference here. So this epoch right now is still making blocks depending on or using 1.36 million ADA as a variable for my pool. All right. So that's important to know too. And when you donate to pool or when you delegate to pools. Pledge. Okay, this is the amount I pledged. So I pledged almost 500,000. There's mixed ideas or reviews, or people think that the pledge is actually a variable that the system looks at. Some people think it matters a lot. Some people think it doesn't matter that much. All I know is my pledge is almost 500,000, and I'm doing a little better than I should be doing. So I don't know if that's because the pledge is a little higher. Some people have real low pledges, and it's not the fault of the pool. I mean, some people making these pools just don't have the money to pledge, so it's just kind of the way it works. But so when I find out for sure how much that affects the pool, I will definitely let you know. Under the pledge, this is the margin, and this is the fixed cost. So fixed cost is the same for everybody. The margin can be adjusted. Okay, so these are just my last rewards. This is what I'm supposed to make every month. Lifetime blocks. I don't know why that says 0. Oh, that's block trend. Okay, so I haven't made any blocks yet this epoch. These are my total lifetime blocks. Like I said, I've made 5 blocks. We're on epoch 6 now, or that epoch 6 that is counting towards rewards. And this is when I registered. This is how many delegators. I'm the only pool owner. So I just wanted to run through that real quick. And again, if you delegate to me, thank you very much. Hopefully, when we start an epoch, in 2 epochs, when that really kind of takes hold, hopefully we do really well. So, okay, but for everybody else, I just wanted to run through this one more time and kind of try to make it easy for you. So, delegate, wait 20 days, look, that's the reward for that delegation. Okay, if you don't want to think, just do it that way. Maybe 21 days just to make sure it popped over to the next epoch, but that's the way if you don't want to think about it. You just want to see what rewards you made. And remember, the rewards you make before that too are from the previous place you were. So, okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is this interesting thing that I found. I was at Plutus Playground, and I hit Getting Started and Tutorial, but when I did it, they both took me to this page. So I scrolled down, and I said, okay, well, I know ITN, Plutus, Marlowe, let's hit more. I got here, and I said, well, that's interesting. I don't know what this is. So I clicked here on IELI, and what IELI is, well, first let me tell you that this hasn't been worked on in 2 years. So the GitHub repository is 2 years old. The only reason I'm showing you this is because it's still in the Cardano ecosystem, right? And it still has to do with Cardano and their blockchain. Essentially, what this is what this allows you to do. It allows you to write Ethereum contracts using Solidity. Solidity is the main way they make contracts. Using Solidity, and use that and convert it to work on Cardano, right? I was like, wow. So I read through, I'm not going to read through it all now, but I read through all of this, and essentially what they do is they take some of the errors out that Solidity has. Like there's an error where when you get to a certain point with a number, when it goes from like 900, this isn't the number, but it's a large number, but say, for instance, 999, then you add 1 to it, instead of going to 1,000, it goes back to 0. So Solidity has an issue with that with some of their code. They fix it here. There's also they also have a mechanism that checks the code that goes one step farther than Ethereum does. And I don't know, it's just really interesting. If you have some time, you should come here and read through it. You can click around, you'll get to the GitHub if you're into the code and you want to look at it. And like I said, it's 2 years old. But if this worked well, I don't know why they wouldn't still be using this. I tried asking about it on Telegram, and nobody answered me or knew what this was. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start a forum question about it, because I really like to know what this is. I'd like to be able to tell you guys, because this is really interesting. If this worked or still works, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't want to put this out now, because right when we started doing smart contracts, not only would we have Plutus and Marlowe, but we'd be able to use Solidity contracts too. So there must be a reason they're not doing this. And I'll find out, and I will let you know. Maybe they're still working on it. I don't know, but I will find out, because it's really, really interesting. And it would be a real big deal if we could just take a Solidity contract and throw it right on the Cardano blockchain. I mean, imagine that, right? So we'd have all those people that are already writing for Ethereum that could just instantly come over here with maybe a couple little changes right for Cardano, contracts for Cardano. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. I am sorry about the Plutus. I will get that done probably next Tuesday. Other than that, if you have any comments or if you know about this, please let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I will see you in a couple days. Thank you very much.